right, thank you. Morning, everybody. Welcome to the April meeting of Highway Parks and Recreation Committee. Meeting minutes were sent out and then need a motion to accept the minutes from our last meeting, which are also attached here from March 7th.
Motion.
Motion to accept, I need a second.
Second.
Second, all those in favor? Any opposed? None opposed. All right. Minutes are accepted. Start with Highway and Parks.
Okay, one as usual, the crews are out working on trees, resident request list, patching of roads. We're still currently using coal patch for winter patching. Anticipate the hot asphalt being, plants being open towards the end of this month. So then we'll transition over to more permanent patching. Just to note, after the last snowstorm, we had numerous trees come down, town trees. We spent a good part of 2 weeks going around trying to help residents pick up larger limbs, before the yard waste pickup came. It was nothing that was announced or put on the website. We did it as a kind of a courtesy. We picked up what was out by the road. But now that the yard waste has started on a random pickup, we are requiring for it to be bag, canned, and bundled. That has been run through town hall, run through the highway department, that's the response we're given. So like I said, we were out cleaning up our own trees and seen a lot of large limbs laying around. So we did our best what we could to try to help ease that burden.
Stuff that was by the edge of the road, that sort of thing.
Right, stuff, the larger limbs that people drug out, not cleaning up their yards or anything like that, but just pretty much storm damage. Anything that came up of a town tree, we picked up and chipped or hauled away. So
Did we have to hire any outside help for that?
no, we did everything in-house. Little over 400 hours of man hours within them 2 weeks cleaning up from what had fallen. So quite a bit of time. Personnel update, we still have one grounds worker position open. We've received multiple applications over the last month or so. We have one that was hired last month that is still going through the process, hopefully be starting soon. And we'll keep interviewing. I'll just leave it tentatively for this month if the right person comes along. Parks crews been working in various parks, trimming brush, park maintenance, kind of doing some spring cleanup around from the winter branches and stuff like that. We started bringing back the mowers, getting them charged up and outfitted for our summer season for this year. So that department's pretty busy. They had finished up the Fieldstone Estate Trail. We just have to go back and plant some trees when they're available, and that project will be complete. Number 4, yard waste pickup. The flyer was in your Niskayuna on the 29th, the Daily Gazette on the 30th. It's on multiple town websites, the home page, the highway page, the Parks and Rec page. So it's pretty well advertised. Please look into it for anything that you have questions on, or call one of the departments for more details. As I said in the beginning of this, please bag, can, or bundle, and tie your longer sticks for pickup. As we move through, we're doing our best. Right now it's random pickup, so you don't have an assigned day. So as you get an opportunity to pick up in your yard, put it out curbside and, we'll be through sooner or later. Number 5, town board resolution, hiring of seasonal help. This is both in highway and parks. Um, a lot of the, seasonal kids that we had last year had, stated that they want to return. Applications are coming in. I'll get all that stuff to HR for, appointment letters and all the proper paperwork that goes with that.
Will we be doing that at the April meeting or
Yeah,
May?
this month. And then possibly, you know, if they were unable to get them to me or have a little room for a couple more, I'll probably hit the May meeting as well if I have room for additionals. And number 6, River Road Park update. So, we've been working on some drainage over there that goes along with those projects. It's already making an improvement in the area around the pavilion and the playground. This was something identified from the beginning of this project that it was needed. It will be basically the groundwork as well for the splash pad as that goes in. Discharge infrastructure for that. So our plan is the pavilion was built and I talked with the supervisor about this and, so the way it's laid out, the pavilion was done the end of last year and the playground. The parks crews installed the border around the playground that we had ordered the end of last year. We're able to put that in with the drainage around that. So our focus is trying to finish the parking lot, make the pavilion usable along with the playground, and then isolate off the area that where the splash pad construction will be going on. So what we kind of finished up in the fall as far as, you know, playground and pavilion, we're hoping to make that all usable because it kind of goes in sequence. So we want that usable for this season. So we're trying to get all that put together here before our busy season starts. So it's been a little muddy over there, but we've kept plugging along. So the improvements keep going.
I got winter back.
We got winter back. You never really know. So that's kind of where we are on that. So that's coming along nicely. Like I always say, it'll look worse before it looks better. So it's a little muddy, but we're getting there. Need to know by tomorrow. That is our plan. That was the discussion with Jamie and you know, to do that in sequence. We got to get a little grass established. You know, obviously nobody wants to rent a pavilion in a mud pit, but I think if we're the timeline in which we're striving for to get the grass planted, you know, right now, so that it germinates quick, and I think we'll have a good recovery time. So I definitely think it could be usable for this year.
Mid, late summer.
I'm guessing maybe after the first quarter of summer, I think it would be established enough, but we'll know better as we go along. Open discussion, so I just have a couple things. We're scheduled for soccer field maintenance on next Tuesday. Paint has been ordered for the rec soccer program. So that additionally, as the weather breaks, we'll be doing you know, restriping of our parking lots and stuff like that. Just that we try to do first thing in the spring before we get busy. So we'll be working on that. I will also say that, you know, Matt and his team have been working with us shooting grades over there, at River Road. He's done, you know, working on the infrastructure for the splash pad and the bathrooms for that update, and has also, you know, kind of came down and worked with us as far as, making the best grade changes that we can, for this project. So thank him and his team for working with us again on this project.
So, at Avon Crest, the firefighters are gonna be donating, like a box, and they're gonna be donating, like a deck box and also, bases for the field over there.
Who is?
The fire department. They're gonna be
Oh, okay.
donating, cause they're gonna be using the fields over there. Do we need to do anything with that, right?
We should probably do a resolution just to accept those.
Okay,
They're doing what, dugouts or?
not a dugout, but they're gonna get like a box that'll have, you know, like a combination lock on it.
Oh, okay.
Then to put equipment in, is that? what you're
Yeah,
talking
there's,
about?
yeah, so they, cause, you know.
Bases, bases and like a storage locker.
Yeah.
I'll check the budget. I might have an old liner, like a chalk liner.
Yeah, just,
Check in that. We haven't used one in years, but we might be able to find one.
They're small enough, I think, depending on whether or not that handle tells.
You use one in the business?
listen, she's pretty
Yeah,
sporty.
I know you draw the line a lot.
Anything else for Ray? Highway and Parks.
Did
no?
you decide on where the compost bins are gonna be for that project?
About,
The compost where their home is gonna be after bins? Or did you pick an area?
we still have to have that discussion, man. We'll find a suitable spot and I'll meet with you because, you know, that's kind of your facility and, you know, we want to make it accessible, but yet we don't want to impact you and what you have going on. So we'll make it, we'll make it good for everybody.
Trustee,
Yeah.
thank you very much. I just wasn't sure where we were at with.
And you guys had a discussion on that pollinator garden right up by the pool. We're good with that? Or- and we're good with that, right? Yeah, it's way up by the pool and it's low impact for, yeah. I know there was concerns about bees or whatever, but I guess that type of thing is more butterfly friendly and so we didn't see an issue with that.
Date.
Can I say one more thing? So I went to, as mandated by my bosses, to work with the tree committee on a tree planting program. So did a pilot program with a list of things. I met with the tree council. So they're gonna help facilitate with the tree planting. So the way it was broke down was they're gonna, I have a master list of all the trees to be replaced. Okay, by zone. So they will be taking this list. They're gonna do 5 trees at a time, pick locations in one zone so that we're not all over town. They can do 5 in a group. They're gonna identify the address, try to, you know, give any beneficial information to the homeowner as to why trees are, you know, a good thing within the town. That's what they do. They're gonna put the stake in with the homeowner. They're gonna, yeah, they're allergic to trees, me too. So they're gonna speak with the homeowner, pick the species and, you know, hopefully we'll match what's in the neighborhood, you know. So they wanted to be involved in this. We can't really let them plant the trees themselves. They, you know, as much as they want to. I would, as much as they want to, I think it's a little much, so, so they're gonna place the stake. Then they're gonna report to Laura, the locations, the type of tree. Laura will email me, we'll call in the locations. And then we'll go out and plant the 5 tree. We'll pick them up at the nursery. We'll, get them planted, so. They're gonna do a lot of the informational work and something that takes time that, you know, so on a really good day, I can plant 5 trees in a day. This is a week to 2 weeks process, groundwork ahead of time, and that's what kills it for me as far as time being able to dedicate to plant trees. So it's a pilot program and we'll give it a shot. They're ball trees, so they're depending on the variety, anywhere from 1.5 to 2 to 3 inches, depending on what the nursery has in stock. Yeah, 3-4 foot, sometimes even bigger, depending on the species, so. So I'll give you a copy of that, just so that you know that's the cover
That's
sheet.
great though, is they're gonna be out there.
Yet to be seen, but yes, we'll go with that. Right, yeah, they're gonna educate them, and I think it'll be what they love to do. And I think it takes a little of the time off my plate as far as being able to dedicate that kind of time and still get everything else we have to do, so. Good, thank you. Thanks for the time.
Summer update. Booking registration went live on April 1st. Registrations have been steady. And we're looking forward to another great summer. I think, you know,
It's a good book.
it is a good book. A lot of work went into that.
She did a lot of work.
Employment, all the applications for the pool positions were due on the 31st. We received 65 plus applications, and this is just for the pool, for lifeguard and snack bar. All applicants will be interviewed the weeks of April 8th and 15th, and any qualified applicants will be offered a position that is open. That being said, there's going to be a lot of disappointed kids, only because we have very limited spots, especially at the snack bar. We have 14 slots, just so everybody gets a little bit of work, but not too much work. So I'm going to do the best we can. Yeah.
Can I get in it? Oh, I wanna do that job. No, I wanna go to do that job.
How does it look for lifeguards? I know. in the
Oh, we're
past
doing
there-
fantastic. Everybody's returning. We had a bunch of new applicants and a lot of younger ones, so it's now filling in the gap for the college age kids that are leaving. We've had no problems. It's been wonderful. Gonna be another good summer. The Spring Hat and Bunny Parade, we had a cool but sunny day for the Bunny Parade. There was an estimate of about 65 plus children, which is about average, maybe a little low from what we normally have. And it might have been because it was earlier in the year.
But it is great.
Yeah, and it was, what's right? We
Very
had
happy kids.
a big thank you to 16 volunteers from the high school and the Girl Scouts. So without them, we can't really run this parade. So, and they made it such a success. Spring soccer update. Spring soccer runs from April 22nd to May 15th for grades K to 5 on Monday and Wednesday evenings.
Completely full.
Yeah, it's completely full and registration is up 20% from last year. So, and spring is usually a little light because of conflicting with other sports like lacrosse and t-ball and softball. So we're quite happy. It's awesome. Driving range is set to open on April 20th, weather permitting. Youth and adult lessons are scheduled to begin on the 23rd. So should there be an issue with weather, obviously we want to later. But we're hoping. Please.
Tough to find your ball this time.
And everything gets plugged. I know the spring is tough, but there was a proposal by the Girl Scouts, group 5036, they were asking permission to put a little library at Center Road Park. This is part of their Bronze Award project. They have to work together, to give back to the community, plan it, build it, source the supplies. And the only help they would need from you is maybe just saying, yes, this is a good spot. They want it right near the shed,
I would say right up against the shed.
right up against the shed. Okay, I will let them know.
It's one less thing to mow around and it's secluded, so it's not for anybody to run into.
Activity, so they thought it'd be a good spot.
It probably would be beneficial because you have a lot of kids that are playing soccer that bring their young siblings. So it would give them, they're always sitting on the bank there, so give them something to do. Yeah. We.
Oh.
Okay, so at the beginning, when Lori and I started working together, we started looking at the calendar of new ideas. And one that we came up with was National Night Out, which is it's a community event that happens everywhere. And this would be our first time in Niskayuna. So this is just a markup of what we're thinking of doing. And it would be with the police, fire, the town, and we're hoping to get sponsors. It would be Tuesday, August 6th. We're either thinking Latnick or River Road. We'll have like a dunk tank, a 3-point contest. It would be like the police and maybe a tug of war with the police and fire and a really fun event. If we get sponsors, everything will be free. And it'll be really fun. And we're hoping so that it'll become an annual thing, to just kind of bring the community together and some music. So this is the first kind of rollout of it. We're going to meet with Jordan and Jeff Relation, and then I'm going to go and talk to Dale and whoever he wants to bring in and start doing it. So I think it'll be a blast because we don't do really anything in the summer. So I think it'll be fun.
Speak for yourself.
We're gonna put Ray in the dunk tank.
Yeah, it's something having fun.
And what locations were you thinking, or you're still up in the air on that?
I think you just open space.
Better
is
parking.
good. Yeah.
This is the first time we've talked in a group about it, other than
You can just
me looking online and so I want to talk to like Martin Harding and MVP.
And they do a pavilion, a small pavilion with picnic tables at center, which is, in case of bad weather or whatever, or a focus point.
Are the basketball courts and center?
Is there?
Does Craig School have anything?
Yes, they do.
Right.
Should ask him. It's like right over to the left. Yeah, that's a great idea. But there's a softball, they have a baseball field, so.
Next we're thinking a kickball game.
Yeah, so we
Yeah,
can.
so we'll
work with
have
Craig
to like
School.
work, yeah,
Yeah.
together. So the community compost is, it was brought to our attention with, the Schenectady Recycle at Cornell. They came and they talked to us about it. We don't have to do anything once it's built. It's a really great program. It's not a very big compost. There are no bees
Attractive,
with it. Yeah. So once it's in, because composting in this unit is big, but not a lot of people can have a compost, just because they don't want it so what people will do is they'll be able to come drop off their things, and there'll be a code that they'll have. They'll drop off their compost and get rid of it. And then the compost will actually be donated to, I think it's the Craig School, because they have a community garden there.
Oh, awesome.
I know. So it's a really great community project that will be going on. And so I think it's really nice that it'll be in a pretty good locale. That's why we kind of chose that area, being the community center, and it's kind of easy in and easy out. So that's why it was kind of chosen there. That was a good idea. And then at the same time, we had these people from Ecos call us and wanted to put in a pollinator garden, and I'm like, oh my God, this is phenomenal. And so I have, this also just to show, I just made a couple because I didn't want to waste our color thing. So this pollinator garden is very small. Once again, they're doing all the work on this one. And the thing with the pollinator garden, I did print out a few more of these so everybody can look at it, is all of this is local native plants. And they'll have an educational QR code. So if anybody wants to buy these, they can actually buy them locally. So, which I think is really cool too. So that they'll have a board right at the town pool. So that for anybody that's not very, savvy like myself, they could have a native garden, which I think is kind of cool. So all this is going into our newsletter that's going to be coming up in the next, couple weeks. I gave it to Erin so that it can go into our newsletter so people can see this also. We're hoping to get this all in by May if we get, good weather, to get it kind of moving. So Ray, you're not gonna have to do anything on the pollinator. The only thing you're gonna have to do with the other, nope, nothing.
Just don't mow it down.
Oh, yeah, that's the only thing they asked is for like the first year, maybe weed whack around it. You can put it around, no, whoever,
They're not doing nothing?
no, I mean, when you do, but other than that, like, not even.
We have to do it or something as it's planted so that, even if it's a couple stakes with a ribbon or a string, just so that the mower goes by it.
Yeah, and there's gonna be Union College students, so they're gonna come in, water it, maintain it, do everything. Yeah, so I told them that I would,
That pool
It's
needed
maintenance.
a little, it needs it.
yeah.
That's nice.
They're actually gonna do two, if you could see, there's gonna be one here, and right now, we already have something here that never gets planted, so they're gonna do both of those. Yeah, they took a look at it, and they were like, so they're these college students that work with Ecos, and so they're gonna take care of it. They're here for the summer, so, yeah, it's a pretty amazing project, so it was kind of cool.
Let's go back to the composting. Do you have an idea where you're thinking this would be?
Yeah, we talked about, there's a few different areas up there that give easier access, because parking is an issue for us.
Right.
Being seniors, so the other thing that concerns us is that it's.
It's completely covered.
I know it's contained, but it doesn't mean that they're not gonna try. So I just wanna keep it, and I don't
We're
want.
thinking, up on the upper deck where you did the tree handout there at the one time as you come in off of, Banker Avenue, that road coming in just as you enter the parking lot.
Yep.
We may just dedicate that first parking spot so that it's the level and, you don't have to go over hill, whatever up on top. Just when you come in, up by our concrete storage building, but we'll just lose one spot at the top. That way they have a nice level surface to get out. She has, the smell will be one thing, and that's not really a highly used area, so.
Actually, it might help us to have managed activity up there because we get a lot of. Unknown activity up there, so it's good to have people coming and going to do functional.
Right.
Little bit.
That'd be great.
Checking
Traffic
here and
and-
there.
I think that's a good spot. It's not by the building.
No, because they have trouble already in the circle. They go the wrong way. They got people walking out to their handicap parking lot, so.
Right.
I think to avoid that, I think it's with a little signage around it. I think it'll be a good, highly visible place, easy accessible.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
easily, yeah, so,
Yeah.
that'll accommodate that. Losing one parking spot is not gonna be detrimental. And we'll do a grid, when we're painting the lines, we'll do a grid so that it's, nobody parks in front of the bin and then we have an issue there, so. We'll grid one off. I think that's a good fit up there and very accessible. See, I listen.
Oh.
That's the last thing.
All right, and so ML Schedules is up and running, and yeah, and we're doing really well. We've had not too many issues. We've had a couple bumps, but it's going pretty well, and the pavilion people are figuring it out, and we're having a lot of pavilion rentals already. So.
Now everything is all in one schedule.
The River Road one, we just did.
No, I took it off. Yeah, so we only have one river
Yeah,
road, yeah, so
right.
it is hidden.
That's okay, no biggie, we got time. So thank you, Jean, that was a lot of work. And as far as resolution items, there's a submittal for the Community Foundation grant, which is due on the 17th, and we were looking to do benches to flank the splash pad to mirror the ones that we had gotten prior over at Blatnick. So we'll have a consistent look throughout the town. And also I have on resolution driving range employees and soccer referees. And that's all I have.
Matt, are you paying attention?
He is.
That's done a lot. That's been amazing with the water stuff.
And the ladybugs.
The ladybug.
All right, so we've had the calendar is online and it's pretty full for April. We're gonna have a busy month. I'm just gonna point out some of the highlights right now. First of all, shout out to Jane and Charlie. Thank you very much for the shelving. It was huge. We've added this sewing group and it's become quite an animal unto itself, and it's required us to kind of reorg some things. So that was a big help. Charlie came down on Monday and put everything together, including the cart. That'll give us flexibility and moves. That helps. Laura Lee, she came back on Tuesday to do a makeup for her sketchbook class, which seems to be very well received and pretty popular. And she's going to stay with us for the entire month on Tuesday. So she'll be with us at 10:30 and everybody is welcome for that. We have our usual Alzheimer's caregivers support group on Friday, the first Friday. So that's tomorrow at 11 o'clock. We have our Red Cross, our blood drive. It's going to be on the 15th. That's Monday. As usual, it will be in the upper level, right, of the senior center. It's going to be from 1 to 6. You can call and we have the information on the website. We put out a blast, and we have information around the numbers 1-800-733-26. 2767. You can call that. It's 1-800 Red Cross. You can call that number and you can schedule your appointment and then just come on whatever works for you. So they're really nice to work with. On April 20th, we have SAS is coming in and doing a workshop. It's paper art with Ruby. She's a pretty talented lady. That's at 10:30 to 2:30. There is a fee, small, it's pretty nominal, but so keep an eye out for that. Our sewing, so the sewing club, they come in on Mondays. They're there with Mondays is a pretty much a full day. We start probably around 8:30 or 9, and then we probably take a break at 2 because we see sewing club, qigong, pickleball, and then we have chair Pilates that kind of finishes out the exercise that day. And then we exit, and Edie comes back in and she does a 4:30 open art and she does a 5:30 jump. So that's been pretty popular. And we are going to get our blood drive in there, no problem. And the only thing that we will probably have to reschedule that particular day is pickleball, only because they use the full upper level. So the sewing group comes in on Mondays, but then she's also there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and they've been working on these little pants, and they are just adorable. These little elastic waist. She has all this fabric, and we have a cart loaded with sewing machines, and she's gotten such a welcome response. And then they also are doing crochet and other types of needlework, which is really, really great. So on the 25th, specifically, these little pants will be donated. We put out a call and asked people if they want to donate like t-shirts and leggings and socks to go with the pants. And then we're going to wrap them up and we're going to donate them. So the prep day, the packaging day is going to be on the 25th. So if anybody wants to come in at 11 o'clock, and you don't have to sew, you could just come in and have a cup of coffee and put packages together. So
What
we would
organization
welcome
are you working with?
That is actually going to, it's called Works of Mercy, and they work directly with Ellis Hospital as well as other local organizations. And so those packages will go specifically to them. We may, kind of broaden our reach and with other projects. So, defensive driving class, we have one scheduled for May 4th. It's a Saturday. That's always popular. People want to know about that. So, the phone numbers are there on the website and at the center, wherever you need. We also did a blast with that. You can call and you can reserve your slot for that as well. And we have 2 tickets left for Tina Turner. Now, Tina Turner is not, it's not until August 1st. It's a musical. It's at Proctor's Theater, but we need to have everything reserved and paid by June 30th. So if anybody's interested in those last couple tickets, give us a shot. Okay, and I think those are the broad strokes. I don't know. Yeah, thank you very much for the other consideration with all these other projects. I think that's really great.
So
Good
the
stuff
sewers,
going on.
is she teaching them how to sew, or are these people that
Oh,
have a knowledge?
She comes like on Monday, it's kind of like her teaching day.
Mhm.
And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, they come in and they pick up whatever projects. Yeah.
I love it.
It's really interesting. She's fascinating. She has her own little like mending business, and then she comes in and just does this with her.
Would she benefit from a blast looking for donations for material, or do you think she's set? Like,
She says she has, we were just talking about this, she has a lot of fabric. We have, but I will keep that line of communication up for sure. And we have a cart full of machines that work well. We have 3 that do not. And so we were thinking about taking them over to the repair cafe. You can only take 2 items at a time, but we thought even if we sacrifice one, if it could not be fixed, maybe we sacrifice one for parts and then we, bring another one on. So we're working on it. So, yeah. So, and that's it.
Your list, talking about the rec center down there and stuff like that, because I know you guys talked about some things that she's identified with that building and that sort of thing down there, so I'm sure we want to continue to work on that, yes?
Yep, she's got a one-way sign, her foundation.
It actually wasn't horrible though. Just a few little,
You know how it works, Linda. If you give me 2 items, I show up, and then there's 15. I'm not new to this. No, they do. They have a legitimate list, and as soon as,
Our facility should
and as soon as, the weather breaks enough for us to get down there, we'll address some of those issues.
So, Community Foundation also does mini grants. What about a mini grant for additional sewing machines? Would you want that?
let me ask.
Okay,
Let me
even maybe 3 or 4, like just to have like newer ones. I mean, they don't have to be like the ones that are doing embroidery, but like
Great.
just a basic.
Sure.
Right,
Sure.
let me know.
Ask her because there are so many different types of special whatever.
Absolutely. Mini grants are rolling, so it's not, it doesn't have the deadline.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, appreciate that. Thank
That's a good idea.
you.
Maybe highway sweaters we could get.
No worries.
Put a little plow on it.
Does anybody have anything else? You guys have been quiet down there. That's a good thing. All right, looks like our next meeting is May 2nd. Yeah. All right, well, okay with that. All right. I will accept the motion to adjourn. Second, please.
Second.
All those in favor? Opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
I'm just